Hello everybody. Welcome to the Twisted Beanstalk. Welcome to the Twisted Beanstalk. Anyway, I am going to do a little side video here. I just want to put a few things out there for people who are thinking about being a reborn artist, or like obviously like you have to have the passion for it. So people out there that are like, oh, I'm gonna be a reborn artist, I'm gonna make all this kind of money just making these little dolls and selling them online. And really, there is so much more to it. So for me, it's been a huge learning experience. When I first started, there wasn't too much information out there. YouTube was still quite new. I wasn't really into making a lot of videos because I really wanted to like pay my dues and like really grind and like be known as like an artist. One of my things in life is work hard, you grind, and just pay your dues as an artist and be so good that they cannot deny you, right? So like you put your heart and your soul into it, and then people are like, oh wow, you know, and so like you want to prove yourself to the industry. So, you know, there's some things that I definitely follow that I have followed over the years. And my number one thing is don't be an simple as that. It's like if you want to have a serious reborn business or even a hobby, do it because you love it, and then sell your babies and then make back money and buy more supplies, which I did for years, by the way. And I still do that. I still do it that way. You can't have the I'm better than everyone else attitude. You have to have patience and understanding, professionalism. And if you're just an off the get-go, it doesn't matter how talented you are, how beautiful your babies are, you know, how you look in person or whatever, like all of that just goes out the window, because eventually they'll love your babies, but if they know that you're a nightmare to deal with, eventually they're just not going to deal with you, or maybe they bought a baby but it was like a bad experience and so they don't want to come back. And the point of building that trust with people is so they will come back. When I say don't be, there's some situations where you'll have to be firm and deal with situations, but you have to be professional about it. You're still running a business and these people are still your customers. So if you're like, oh, I'm too good for you and whatever, you said this about me, or you put this little thing on social media or whatever, you're going to be, it's just going to be an uphill battle. And you don't want to start that way, because eventually everybody's going to find out and know, and then nobody's going to want to deal with you. So if you have like awful people skills and awful communication and attitude, it's not for you, because people will find out. If you have that arrogant attitude with people, it's just not going to be sustainable, especially as a business, especially in a business where you're making artwork. And you know, it does hurt me because I'm like, oh, I'm so wounded. Oh wait, you guys don't do, oh, well, I guess it's just me. Anyway, yeah, so like when that happens, it's like, ouch. But you know what? You just deal with it. You deal with it and you fix the issue and get it done. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like right away, like like you just have like your emails and your comments and your social media and your online presence is a total. You are not going to be sustainable. Eventually, you know, you build your house on the sand. Eventually what's going to happen is going to and sometimes you have to be stern and you have to be confident and you have to be like, okay, this and this. But if you're running to social media and you're posting chargebacks or people's emails, people like, I mean like over and over, not just in certain situations, because I know reborn artists who have had really difficult situations where they had no choice but to do something like that, to like warn other artists. But if you're doing it multiple times, like even more than one time a month is too many. It's for me personally, I would never buy something off of somebody who plasters stuff all over social media, you know, hang out their laundry for everybody to see. It's just not the way that I do things, and I would not ever buy anything from them, because I would think to myself, if this person is like doing this, then how do I know it's not going to happen to me? And I would never want to put myself in that situation. Therefore, I put up barriers. And so that's just something that you have to do. And it makes me feel really icky when I see stuff like that. I'm just like, yeah. Oh God, why? Excuse me while I drink my pickle juice. Oh, there's a lot of ginger in there. Holy schmoly. Holy schmoly, Ginger, you trying to freaking kill me or what? If you're having multiple chargebacks, you have to ask yourself why. Why are you having multiple chargebacks? And why are you getting all these babies returned? And why are all these people just spewing out all this stuff? It's like, there's, you know what I mean? Anyway, that's just how I explain things, just by doing that. The wrong business if you're constantly arguing and fighting and getting chargebacks and people pissed off at you. I think that's a pretty red flag. That's a red flag if I've ever seen one. So be legit. Have good kits, good reborn kits from trusted dealers, McPherson's, Irresistibles, Bountiful Baby. I don't know the international ones and I apologize, but although McPherson's is international, but I mean, it's literally like Canada is like a hop, skip and jump away from my house. I can literally like, oh, hi Canada. Too legit to quit. Oh yeah. Definitely listen to the first part, because that's gonna say it all as far as like a person, a professional, an artist, everything. Practice, pay your dues, study. Like anything else, dealing with people, having people skills, communication skills, study. I even for me, I study. I'm always doing new things, new formulas. I'm always writing them down, trying, you know, like, actually that's not true at all. Let me rephrase that. I just started putting formulas down. I was like, ooh, oh, I'm such a scientist now. I was so proud of myself. But it was really, it was very challenging. And so I liked it because it kind of gave me that like, ooh, feeling, you know, like, ooh, la la. Oh. Let's see. If you're selling on eBay, eBay is a joke now, but if you're selling on eBay, Etsy, you need to build reviews. You need to build good reviews. Say, you know, your reviews are everything. Facebook, you're going to get reviews. Instagram, you're going to be building followers. And if you want to be a trusted reborn artist, you also have to have a good relationship with other artists. And so it's harder being on the outside in, because it's when you gain relationships with other artists, sculptors, and like dealers and stuff like that, you're gonna gain more trust and be more trusted. So that was really important for me as an artist, and it still is. My reputation is everything. So you want to guard your reputation, you want to build your reputation, and you want to guard your reputation. And so if you're online and just going at it with like everybody in the reborn community, or like, you know, with the dealers, the sculptors, everybody, then it's going to be really hard to be very successful. And that might not be for everybody, but for me personally, that's very important to me. So I just make sure that, you know, I was just very careful. I'm just very careful. It's built on your reputation. So if you have a reputation and like you're a jerk to everybody and everybody knows that. You're not going to be valued in the whole like reborn artist world. And when you're not valued and you're not taken seriously or you're not being professional, and then you're making those dolls and then you're handing that out to other people, it's supposed to be your passion, your love, you know, you want to make the baby and then you want to pass it on and make other people happy. But if you're being a get-go and you don't have any patience for anybody and you're just like, whatever, you bought the doll here, or you're scamming people, or there's like scamming websites with these photos, or you're sending fake photos, or you're selling reborns from a prototype photo that doesn't belong to you. All of those things are toxic. They're vile. You're not gonna be able to sustain that. You just don't even want to go there. It's just gonna ruin you. And when things do come up, which they do to everybody, and it's okay to turn people away, you have the right to make that judgment call. And I've also made that judgment call, and that's okay. It doesn't happen that often, but when it does, and you have to make that judgment call, sometimes you have to, and you're just like, no. But you learn that kind of along the way. I think people are so quick to jump on that bandwagon, but they're starting off on the wrong foot already. You know, study, do your homework. I mean, I practiced for years. I paid my dues for years. I sold my dolls for like $100 for the first year that I made dolls. I was making them and selling them and making my money back. I had to have a full-time job, and so did my husband. We still actually both have jobs, although my job is doing what I love. But I wouldn't have got where I am today if I hadn't have followed certain rules. And yeah, so like I just wanted to kind of put that out there in case people, oh, my elastic just broke. Again, I've changed this elastic so many times. I don't know why it keeps on breaking. What a freaking joke. Now look at me. Oh yeah, that's great, Bean. That's great. I generally don't like coming onto YouTube and talking like this. Like, I don't know. I think it's just because it kind of gives me a headache when people respond to it in such a negative way. For the most part, I have good responses. Oh my God, I'm gonna zip tie my hair. That is freaking it. Oh wait, then how will I get it? Okay, excuse me while I zip tie my ponytail. There, boom, done, just like that. You have to be professional. You have to study, you have to grind, you have to pay your dues, and you have to gain trust. That's the only way you're going to survive in the reborn world now, especially with all these fakes coming out. People are going to be looking at your website, looking at your review, looking at your social media. Trust is going to be a huge thing. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of come on here and say that. And normally, even from the beginning, I feel like if I ever put in my 2 cents or my opinion, it's like people would for me about it. But like, I'm not the greatest at explaining things, and I can hear it in my head, but it doesn't come out the way that I want it to come out. And then I see other people's videos, I'm like, oh, yes, just like that. And yeah, so I'm like, you know, I just want to like explain something, and it's not controversial, and just making good judgment calls and telling, you know, sharing what you should do or how you should make your judgment calls as a reborn artist. I'm gonna go and oh God, my head hurts. I even took Tylenol and it still hurts. Well done, Bean. Okay, anyways, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you've learned something. Thank you for being here, and I shall talk to you later. Bye.